Just ahead on City Scene News, find out how you can keep your pets safe this winter. We'll have details on the mayor's State of the City speech, and we'll let you know how you can submit service requests to the city online. City Scene News starts now. Hello, I'm Jonathan Kirsch with the latest Lakewood news and events. The West Rail Line opens in less than 3 months, and RTD recently flipped the switch to turn on the lights on the iconic 6th Avenue Bridge for the first time.
3, 2, 1, lights!
The historic ceremony marks the end of construction and the official countdown to the opening of the West Rail Line on April 26th. The Lakewood City Council also got a tour of the new Lakewood Wadsworth Station. The raised station runs high across Wadsworth Boulevard and features a lighted canopy, Lakewood branding, and stands to serve as a centerpiece for Lakewood. The city invested in betterments to this particular station to ensure the safety, security, and comfort of riders with the hope of attracting future investment.
When you get kind of understanding Colfax and you understand Wadsworth and then 6th Avenue, this piece really starts to become what I'd call the gateway station of Lakewood. You guys are blessed with many stations along the line here, but I think this is what I'd call the preeminent one in terms of really kind of setting an experience of kind of you've arrived at Lakewood.
Stay tuned to KLTV 8 for details on opening day activities. When the temperatures drop, we take care of ourselves by bundling up and taking certain precautions so we don't freeze or get sick. And caring for your pet should be no different. So I stopped by Foothills Animal Shelter recently to talk with Jennifer Strickland to find out what you can do to keep your pet warm and healthy during the cold winter months. Well, Jennifer, thank you very much for joining us to give us all this information.
Absolutely.
Why is it important not only to take care of ourselves during the winter months, but our pets too?
You know, it's a great question. I think really it boils down to what can happen potentially if we don't watch them surrounding the cold weather, that potentially they could die, freeze to death. Their water can be altered, obviously frozen if we're not watching those kinds of things. So I think just what can potentially happen is the danger.
Now, a lot of dogs love to play out in the snow. How can we make sure that they're protected?
I think that, you really need to limit it, and it depends on the weather. If it's sunny outside and above freezing, that's one thing, versus if it's 5 degrees, then that's another. And so if you need to limit your play times, that may be something. Also, as far as walking, you do need to be aware that, pavement can be frozen, that can be really cold on their pads. So those are the kinds of things you can take into consideration.
And some people like to keep their dog's coat kind of short. Is that okay or not okay to do during the winter?
Ideally, you wouldn't want to clip down your pet to really, really short hair, because that's just like our clothes are to us. They're going to keep them warm. And so, you can always use a coat for a pet or a dog if you're going to clip them down. But we would suggest to let that grow out a little bit during the winter months to help insulate their body in warmth.
So when I do take my pet out for a walk, there are a few reasons to keep the pet on the leash, right?
There are a couple really important ones. One is that with snow covering the ground, and or if it's even snowing lightly, it's going to impair your pet's scent. And so if they go off lead and run around, they can easily be lost. They say that there's more dogs lost in snowstorms than any other time during the year. So that's one good reason. The other is that you don't want your pet to get out on ice either. If you're close to a lake and they're running around and they happen to go out on the iced over water, that if they could fall through, then potentially they could, of course, end up dying. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Keeping an eye on your pet when they're outside as well. That's good. Now, I know to wipe my dog's legs and stomach when they come in from outside from playing in the snow, just because I don't want water all over my house. But there's another reason for that too, right?
There is, especially if you're going to be going on roads or maybe sidewalks in your neighborhood. Of course, there's going to be chemicals on both of those areas to make sure that it's not as icy. And those can oftentimes be dangerous to pets. So when they come back into the house, if they lick their paws, which they're going to do a lot of the time because they're wet, then they would unfortunately also ingest some of those chemicals. So it's really important to be able to wipe them off, even spray them off if you can, to make sure you get everything. If your pet only is going to be going in your, say, driveway or your area, make sure you use something that's pet friendly.
For the folks who have cats as pets, what do they need to keep in mind during the winter months?
Well, we of course always encourage that you would keep your cat indoors, but we do know that folks will have animals that will be going both indoors and outdoors. And the trick with cats can be that if they are out for too long of a time, unfortunately then they're going to be looking for a place that's warm, and that can mean under a hood of a car. So we always let people know that that is very possible during the winter months. So if you do park your car outside, you're going to want to tap on the hood to make sure there's no animal underneath there just trying to stay warm.
And are there any other potential things that we need to keep in mind about cats and dogs and other pets?
Antifreeze can be something that is important and that comes into play. You know, if your pet has access to the garage, unfortunately, antifreeze can leak sometime on the floor, and that's something that's very sweet to the taste for pets. So you'd want to make sure that that doesn't happen, that you clean up after your cars, or your pet just doesn't have access to your driveway or your garage.
Well, this is all just great information for us to keep in mind to keep our pets safe during the winter months. Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thanks for having us.
For more information about keeping your pet warm and healthy during the cold winter months, or to get your dog licensed, head over to foothillsanimalshelter.org. or stop by in person at 580 McIntyre Street. Don't forget, you can get Lakewood news and event information this year by following the city on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @LakewoodCOLO. Tweets alert followers to the city's weekly electronic newsletter, announce special services such as free Christmas tree recycling, and cover upcoming community meetings as well as art and cultural performances and festivals. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook by visiting lakewood.org/social media. The city's website has a new feature that lets residents easily attach a photo when requesting assistance with an issue or concern. Reporting a pothole? Now residents can report that pothole and send us a picture all in one step from a computer, iPhone, iPad, or Android phone that is running the latest operating software. In the past, residents had to send a separate email with a photo attached when reporting an issue or requesting help through our Need Assistance webpage. Visit lakewood.org/need assistance to let the city know about concerns, compliments, or complaints. Lakewood is conducting a national search for a new director for the Information Technology Department. The deadline to apply is February 15th. For more information and to apply, visit lakewood.org/IT director. The 2013 State of the City Community Luncheon will take place on February 28th at the Sheraton Denver West Hotel at 360 Union Boulevard from 11:30 to 1 p.m. Mayor Bob Murphy will outline the city's efforts to connect the community and to collaborate and catalyze change. Lakewood's 2 business improvement districts are hosting the event. For ticket and sponsorship information, contact Alameda Corridor Business Improvement District Executive Director George Valek at 303-274-1807 or Lakewood West Colfax Business Improvement District Executive Director Bill Marino at 303-275-3430. The State of the City will be broadcast throughout the month of March here on KLTV 8. Lakewood police are warning residents that an often used scam has been targeting elderly Lakewood residents. The scam begins with victims receiving a call from someone claiming to be their grandchild. The grandchild claims to be in a foreign country, often Mexico, and says he or she has been in a car accident. They ask the victim to wire money, often via Western Union, to get the grandchild out of jail. The victim, out of natural concern, sends thousands of dollars to have their grandchild released. The victim later learns the real grandchild was in the United States all along and never needed assistance. Be aware that the grandchild in the scam will know the names of the victim's family members and is very convincing. It appears the suspects are getting family information from social networking sites. If you have questions, you can call the Lakewood Police Department at 303-987-7111. You'll probably be getting a call from the police department on February 6th, but don't worry, it's just a test. Jefferson and Broomfield counties are working together to test their new emergency notification system. Starting at 9 a.m. on February 6th, the Code Red emergency notification system will begin making test calls to every landline, so the process is expected to take several hours to complete. This is the new emergency notification system, and residents and businesses are encouraged to visit your911.net to add additional contact information, including phone numbers and email address preferences. This is important for those who do not have a landline and would like to receive emergency notifications. Residents who have previously registered their phone numbers must re-register under the new notification system. For more information about the notification process and to sign up, visit your911.net. The City of Lakewood is accepting applications from neighborhoods interested in joining the Sustainable Neighborhoods program. Join your neighborhoods on February 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Lakewood Cultural Center Community Room for an open house and to learn more about this important program. You can also head over to lakewood.org/sustainable neighborhoods to check out the informational video. The City of Lakewood wants to hear from you. Tell us what your favorite live performance has been during the Lakewood Cultural Center's 12-year history. Your answers will help guide future performances. We'd also like to know if you would like to see more food trucks in Lakewood and what your thoughts are on the latest release of the city's Easy Maps product. Head on over to engagelakewood.com and let us know what you think. A quick reminder now that winter is in full swing. Lakewood requires residents, business owners, and tenants to clear snow from the sidewalks and bike paths adjacent to their property no later than 24 hours after the end of a snowstorm. By keeping the sidewalks free of snow and ice, you help make Lakewood safe for students walking to school, customers, and all pedestrians. If you have any questions about the Lakewood Snow and Ice Removal Ordinance, please call the Department of Public Works at 303-987-7900 or visit the Public Works Snow and Ice Control page at lakewood.org/snowplan. A quick congratulations to the students at Lakewood High School who recently won the Colorado High School Science Bowl. The team will go on to the 23rd National Science Bowl in Washington, D.C., April 25th through the 29th, where they will compete for the national title against more than 400 students from 70 high schools. Congratulations. That's it for this edition of City C News. Stay up to date on the latest Lakewood news and events at lakewood.org. I'm Jonathan Kirsch. Thanks for watching.